ジョーの野郎。鬼姫が完全にぶっ潰しやがって。
Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome to Joe Consumes Cinema. I'm your host. Give me another. I think you've had enough, Rick. I'll tell you when I've had enough. And today we have Rick and Morty, Season 9, Episode 5. So I've come to a terrifying realization about this season. Everything that has happened thus far is because Rick is attempting to turn our Morty into a replacement evil Morty. Because he can't handle the fact that he really did get attached to him. He was kind of vibing with him, and now he's gone, and he can't hang out with him anymore. So he's just, switched from. He was doing really well at the end of Season 8, probably like the healthiest he's ever been. Season 9 starts, and it's okay for the most part. He goes on this little adventure with Evil Morty. Our Morty then gets jealous, and then Rick decides he's had enough of this, goes against him, and then, Evil Morty ends up in jail. But Rick quickly learned that, that was a mistake. He almost regretted it, immediately. Then he goes on vacation. Then the whole thing with the small, little minor dispute turned into that whole kung fu, face-off thing. And yeah, right now I think he's doing it subconsciously, but there were hints along the way. Like, when he got blackout drunk the last episode, and he's, yelling at Morty, and, he's just saying evil boy over and over again. And then at the end there, things are resolved, and all of a sudden, Rick is on another bender again, just getting wasted, and he's just trying to make Morty the lowest he can feel. That, hey, look at how, disgusting this is, this alcoholism. It's going to happen to you too. And he just keeps doing this stuff where everything he's doing, and I think he's doing it subconsciously, is designed to get Morty in that really dark place where he just becomes, apathetic and nihilistic, and then, once he's there, Evil Morty said that the only difference between him and every other Morty is he just stopped giving a shit. And, once he's down that path, we see that Morty is capable. It's just, his insecurities and his lack of confidence just hold him back immensely. I do think, every Morty has it in them to display that level of intelligence. I don't think it's something that's unique to Evil Morty. It's just, he's motivated by hatred of Rick and just wanting to do anything to escape, that reality of every Morty has a Rick, and, he just didn't like that whole dynamic. And yeah, when he stopped giving a shit, he became more powerful, to the point where he could actually compete with Ricks and defeat them. So, and yeah, I really think that's where this whole thing is headed, ultimately. Now, I don't know how our Morty is going to deal with it. I think eventually he's going to figure out what Rick is doing, and then, something's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get a situation where there's going to be another, evil Morty, but, Rick always gets in this really dark place, and I have some theories as to, why I think that is. Obviously, the whole thing with the wife, and him not being able to cope with that. Honestly, that's a good reason. Your wife has been deleted out of all existence, so you can't see her no matter what you do, despite the fact that you basically have the powers of a god, and yeah, that would drive someone into depression. I think that would be justified, but I also think Rick knows that he's in a TV show. It's just a personal theory of mine. Haven't heard anyone else say it, but yeah. There's these fourth wall breaks, and they're always, comedic. He did one in Season 9 already. Season 9, baby. Only a infinite number more to go. And then, he drinks again. But yeah, I think Rick is intelligent enough to realize that he's actually in a TV show. And that realization, also puts him in another, very dark place. And it's like, he's trapped here, and he can't do anything about it. And even if he could, what would be the end result of that? The show gets canceled, and then he gets blanked out of existence. What's the reward for talking about it, or convincing other people, or, doing something about it? So yeah, I think a lot of the psychological issues that, hold Rick back from ever making any real prolonged progress is stuff that's, beyond his control. And given his ego and all that, that's not something that he can process. So, he turns to drink, he does, self-destructive stuff. And yeah, that's just where his headspace is at. And I think ultimately that's why Rick just can never be happy, honestly, truly happy. And, it's really dark and depressing, but it's just a big aspect of the show. And, I think that's finale type stuff when he actually I think it's going to end with him talking directly to the audience. Like, that's personal theory of mine, but yeah, that's just where I see things headed right now. And, you know, this whole dynamic of him trying to create a new evil Morty is something that we should keep in mind going forward throughout the rest of these episodes. I've really enjoyed the season thus far. Like, season 9 started out with a banger. Some, like, middling stuff here and there, but, you know, funny, entertaining, so no real complaints. I know at some point we're going to get the more, you know, introspective stuff that I personally enjoy the most, but, you know, really good so far, and, you know, I'm eager to get to this one, so let's just get right to it.
It's been so long, no one even makes fun of me for being unemployed anymore.
Oh, we can make fun of you. Take one of these. It's a worry worm. It eats your worries and dies out in a couple hours.
I'm not taking breakfast drugs.
We doing breakfast drugs?
This interview's important to me.
Wow, good luck, Dad. Didn't realize you were still trying. Yeah, why? See you all in a week.
Wait a minute. A Jerry with no worries?
Snowball!
Oh! We haven't seen him since season 1. Wow. That's a really long callback.
Proud of my dog. He built this place, you know. Oh, shit, what the fuck?
Oh, come. I see you've met a mub. No big deal. Just humanoid creatures we bred to be pets. Weird if you were offended by it, since you had pets first. I know you're probably distracted by the mups. Sadly, they're all I can see now.
What? That was...
It is our finest hose water.
Oh, it's shaped like a little tugboat.
God damn it!
Jesus Christ!
The Mancors, they're adapting, so we adapt harder. I think you're getting the wrong impression. You're seeing a lot of physical deformity and selective breeding.
Wow, and it says here under other experience, jump dimensions?
You see some things, Bob, but at the end of the day, you realize we're all pretty much the same.
10% worm. Quick reminder to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also consider signing up for my Patreon. For $1 per month, you get access to all my exclusive reactions, also a guaranteed movie request. With that, let's get right back to the reaction.
It's Friday.
Oh, God, no.
Honey,
Parks on the
I'm
lawn.
home.
Jerry?
How many worms are inside of him right now?
Jerry OD on worms.
I told him to take one.
Holy shit.
20% worm.
I guess you had enough anxiety to fuel a worm breeding frenzy. I'm kind of getting the impression that you're all sort of ashamed of this stuff.
Ashamed? Cruelty-free mup technology. You can further customize your new best friend. And the mups like it. Your new friend is ready to join the family. Super normal.
Oh, God. Yeah, the shit we do to dogs is horrible.
So you're going to cancel me?
What? No.
So you're not gonna run and tell your grandfather I'm doing eugenics?
You're projecting so much. Please don't try to kill me. Please don't try to kill me. Please don't try to kill me. Oh,
He can tell.
shit. Take. Please don't take me to join some kind of rebellion.
Take.
Oh, man. We're cool.
Yeah, we're ice cold.
40% worm.
You want to go 60-40?
We're trying to fix him, not get into the worm business.
Well, hold on. Who's getting that 60?
Dad?
You texted come in and then a gun emoji?
Ah, shit.
God damn it, Dad. Good dealers don't grow on trees.
Nice.
Jerry's tracker disappeared here. The worms must have eaten it.
Those things impress me.
Surprise improv on the subway!
Things must be trying to max out Jerry's anxiety specifically.
Where could he go to create the most discomfort for everyone?
Well, you have a leader already. You don't need me as your dances for wolves. With wolves? I haven't seen. Not looking to get caught up in all the colonization, eugenics, hierarchies. I just come from a world where the humans are in charge and we did this to dogs.
He will help us!
I didn't say that.
Search everywhere!
Do you have eyes on Morty?
Not yet. Are you fucking Linux, kid?
Oh, God.
You must leave. You must boy.
Jesus.
Morty, I heard there was a car crash. Where are you? I can come get you.
I'm coming for you, Snowball! It's time to let Snowball know. He's been a bad dog.
Oh, God.
Glad to see you. Is your skin moving?
60%.
Carl, I just gotta tell you, you're fucking bald. And I hate bald dudes.
I love this guy.
I hear you're nervous about working with us, Carl. Let's have a drink, you fucking pussy. 3 martinis.
I'd sign the paperwork right now. I would definitely, but you need to meet the board in New York.
Take me there.
Oh, God.
What are you doing? And why'd you tell me to bring my pregnant wife?
Jesus.
Now I'm going to deliver your baby. Just like I'll deliver visibility to Nip Slip Vodka.
Incredible!
We're in free fall! I can't fix it!
It's time to push, Ellen. We're gonna crash while you create life.
I think I want to be your wife.
Me too!
I'll name her Jerry.
You are all my wife now.
My God, an entire army! Free them all!
Maybe not a good idea. Jesus.
Yeah, these guys do not get guns!
My old master. Have you come to swat me with a newspaper?
You're my dog now. Everyone stop! The Emperor dies! Oh, didn't really have a solution ready to go. Wasn't even gonna kill Snowball. I was bluffing. Not setting up a government, or ushering a new age, or writing...
Then what?
Oh, God.
Jerry, you're crazy. I haven't enjoyed a pitch this much since the 70s.
You can't buy nights like this, Carl. But you can make them with Nip Slip Vodka. Hold the baby.
Jesse's warming out! How do we save him?
Save him! He's perfect!
Fire!
Through the board! I'm on. I did it?
Wait, are you afraid of Jerry getting a job?
I don't know. I'm used to him being around. He's part of the wallpaper.
Grab the incidental!
Jerry, you start on Monday.
Congrats, hon.
I never took a moral stance, though. I resisted it every turn. You would have been so proud of me.
Well,
Oh, God.
I guess every conflict can be solved with free narcotics.
Crew dogs.
so
Nice.
it's all hands on deck this week. I wish every client was as chill as you guys. I love working on this account.
You're the man, Jerry.
Okay, I took some time just to gather my thoughts. Episode 5. Interesting one. I'm not quite sure which one of the narratives this episode is the B plot and which is the A plot. So we had the whole thing where Morty went on vacation to that world that Snowball, his dog, went to. You know, I was way back in season 1, and I think Rick did something to make the dog more intelligent, you know, raising its IQ, and then it kind of snowballed, you know, no pun intended there, where he sort of took over everything, and, you know, dogs have been treated horribly by humans. Even in the instance where you, like, love your dog and, you know, care for it, it's still a legacy of, you know, human manipulation of their entire genetic line. Like, I've had dogs, and if they gained sentience and actually looked into their history, it'd be like, you know, what the hell have your people done to my people type of thing. But since the dogs had their own, you know, home world now, they sort of did it to humans too. They called them mups, you know, like pups. And it was just this bastardized version of, you know, humans that they bred for specific traits. And they had, you know, an existence comparable to the existence that dogs have on Earth, where, you know, they're an accessory, they're not their own, you know, thing with consideration or, you know, real caring. Like, we have dog protection laws, but honestly, they're inadequate. And some countries don't even have that. In some countries, they literally, you know, raise dogs just to eat them. The whole slave-master analogy is pretty damn apt, and even in the case where it's like a positive thing, it's still based on, you know, centuries of manipulation, and yeah, it's just not a good thing overall if you really think about it. The other storyline, though, the one that I found more interesting, was the whole thing where, you know, Jerry finally gets a job lined up and looks like he has a real shot at this one. But of course, you know, Jerry, he's a worrywart, so Space Beth gives him this worm that literally feeds on worries, a worry worm. And it was really cool seeing Jerry for the first time just, without his worries, which is a very cool, calm, and relaxed, version of Jerry that as things progressed, it literally got to the point where, the worm was trying to feed on the worries of others because it was consuming everything that Jerry had. And it got to the point where when he reached 100%, they had nothing left to feed on, and, he got the job. So they all just kind of abandoned ship and, went for anyone else that had any worries. It was interesting that everyone else, Rick, Space Beth, and Beth, had the worry that, now that Jerry has a job, what are they going to do in comparison? It's like they're just not used to things where Jerry actually has something to contribute, and they're kind of in a weird way threatened by it, which I thought was interesting. Not the most thought-provoking, not the funniest, definitely weaker of the ones we've seen thus far in the season. Just kind of in the moment concept humor and the occasional weak punchline. Not the best work overall, but more to the point that I was talking about earlier with this whole, evil Morty theory and Rick trying to create a replacement one that I have. Rick actually was kind of happy that Morty didn't take a moral stand. His whole thing this episode was he just wanted to go on vacation and visit his, old dog, and then kind of got roped into this whole rigmarole where he had to lead the resistance movement even though he didn't want to, and, really just did it because they tried to kill him. It wasn't anything higher falutin than that. It was just, you took a shot at me, so I'm going to get you back type of thing. And even in the end, when he had Snowball, basically by the throat, he couldn't do it. It's his dog. So also Rick's solution, pretty messed up. It's just an apathy drug, basically, the worry worm. And yeah, no real resolution. It's just kind of better than total civil war, until they're all exterminated. So yeah. Not the best overall, story-wise, not the best overall, humor-wise, but kind of middle of the pack. It makes sense. I'm sure we're going to get to a stronger place next episode. I'm hoping for more, introspective stuff, the stuff that makes you think. Probably going to get more humorous stuff before we get to that point, though, which is cool. As long as it can make you laugh, it's still, a strong Rick and Morty episode. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for now. So as always, thanks for watching, and peace.